Shri's in a circle. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so in this dream, so it's about my dream journal. It's a dream that I had 3 years ago. And I want to tell you a bit later about the dream, but in an essence, if you're clicking on this video, it's really meant to be for you. Now, the essence of Om and the chanting of Om. I just want to talk about Om. So this whole video is about Om. I was told in a dream, all right, it's a bit far out, so that was 3 years ago. That was in 2019. I had a dream. I was in this meditation retreat center in my dream, but that's before COVID, actually. It's really interesting because it's a bit of a premonition of what's to come, all that. But I did not like it in the retreat center because it was too crowded. There were too many people and there were no seats. And everybody was like crowding around. I didn't like that, so I felt uncomfortable. And so I moved away from the retreat center and I stepped out in this open botanical gardens and I saw this huge banyan trees, big, beautiful, big, tree with big buttress roots. And what was distinct about the banyan tree was there, lo and behold, under the banyan tree was this huge, gigantic Shiva statue. I knew distinctively that was Shiva in my dream. Though it looked a lot like Buddha, the way he was sitting cross-legged, but that serene countenance like Buddha, but handsome. That's the only thing I can say is that Shiva's pretty handsome. He's pretty cool. And I knew that was Shiva. I just knew it. And so Shiva talked to me. The statue started to talk to me in my head, and he spoke in English to me. I guess he must have figured out that I only understood English and not Sanskrit, maybe. So he said, okay, would you like to meditate? And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually, I want to meditate. He's like, do you want me to teach you how to meditate? I'm like, yes, I do. I want to learn how to meditate. He said, well, grab a meditation cushion. And so I looked down and there was this round, like these round meditation cushions. And I'm like, a brown ochre colored one that you would see like in retreat centers, but it was there out in the open. So I grabbed one and then there I sat comfortably and Shiva started chanting Om. Said chant after me and he started chanting Om. And then I woke up and it was beautiful. I had many other dreams of Shiva after that. And I will talk more about that in like future episodes, but it took me 3 years, like the resistance to follow the instructions that was just heaven sent in my dream. No, I could not follow those instructions until recently when I was looking through YouTube channels. I came upon and that's the reason sometimes, how YouTube works. It's just so amazing. I think that there's just sacred magic that's happening. Seriously, that's what I think. That's why, like you chance onto videos you would never think and you go like, the message is just meant for me. So it's a video of, I believe she was a saint in India and she's still considered a saint and she's called Ma. Maima, I think that's her name, but doesn't matter. I love her. She's beautiful. And I have heard her mantras, Devi, Ma. I've heard that a lot. I just didn't know who the saint, the person was until recently I discovered her because I was reading a book from Ramdas. It's how funny how everything connects. So it was Shri Mahima, Ma, that's what she's called. And she was talking and so inspiring in just what she said in that video and how she advised was just simply in a very lucid and beautiful and lighthearted manner. And that's her countenance. It's very childlike, very innocent, very light. She's always laughing and smiling and not a care in the world. Like she doesn't belong to this world, this mortal world. And she said, well, we should all dedicate 15 minutes every hour to God. It's like, whoa, 15 minutes. So that's her advice, is that self-discipline to dedicate 15 minutes an hour to think of and to dedicate it to God in stillness. And she also said something else which also inspired me deeply, was to chant Om. She said because Om is the sound of the cosmos. it purifies your karma. So I'm like, okay. Now, something in the way she said it struck a chord with me. All the resistance sort of crumbled away. And that very night, I decided I'm going to chant Om before I slept. So, in addition to my meditation routines and stuff, I now sit cross legged, close my eyes, and I chant Om. And when I think about it, every hour or so, I would stop my work, my computer, my desk. Om. Just chanting Om and the vibration in your belly and everything just feels so right. And I also got this new habit, new beautiful ritual with my kids, chanting Om with them every night. And they like it. So it's been the first night they liked it. The second night they asked for it. So it's just magical when you chant Om together with other people, like I did it with my children, was that when you start to chant together, you can hear the merging of your voices and the vibration all together, and you feel at that point in time like you're one. Like your energies merge. It's really hard to speak and how to say it, describe it, but it's like this beautiful fluidity of energy that comes together and it weaves together. So when you chant Om, let's chant that together. Shall we just take a deep breath in? Om. Oh, so beautiful. And when I started chanting Om, I just remembered the dream. Yeah, Shiva told me, would you like to meditate? And there he was chanting Om. So, well, Lord Shiva, I know you're hearing, but it took me 3 years and now finally I'm doing it. That's where I feel like the whole karma business, manifestations and all that good stuff is that, for people, the whole muck of this mortal existence and the whole resistance in the first place, right? It takes time for people to realize and to put it into action. First there's a seed that's planted, and the seed would grow, or it would, soak in the. It's like the seed that was planted in my mind in 2019 of that dream. It was planted, but it was growing, it was taking root. Then finally, like this week, with the book, with Ram Dass, with Ma, beautiful divine Ma, I discovered Om, and I discovered, and again, my connection with Shiva restored. And so, like a parent, if you might be a parent and you're like, get so frustrated when you give all your good advice to your children and they don't follow it. Well, the thing is, they're following their own karmic trajectory, and all good advices are all good, but will someone heed your advice? Will someone actually implement it? We got to be patient. It takes time and there's muck and resistance to go through, but once their karma is ripe and ready, then it will realize. So again, I believe that chanting Om helps to expedite that process of the whole cleansing, so that you cleanse away and you purify your karma. And as Ma says, chanting Om is really, really important to purify your being, your karma, your actions from the past. And so doing that, it accelerates your spiritual, your ascension process, your manifestation, and all there is towards that bright future pathway that's open to you, that's open to all of us. All these possibilities aligns you to your higher self. So with that, chant Om, and that was a beautiful dream message, which I realized finally I implemented, and I'd like to share that with all you beautiful souls out there on YouTube, which brings me a lot of benefit. And so therefore, I hope to also share that little nugget of wisdom to share it with all, so that we can raise our consciousness and we can all be happy, free, full of love. So again, peace, namaste. My name is Shri, in a circle. Lots of kisses, joy, and love. Bye.